you ready to say hi?
Hi.
Hi everybody, welcome to another Mindfulness Monday. Today we're going to be reading a book by Michael Gordon, illustrated by Max Lairn, and this is called When I'm Worried. And this is from the same series of books that we read that was called When I'm Frustrated. You ready to get started? All right. First thing in the morning, Josh felt happy and light. But as the day progressed, try as he might, he struggled to manage his worry and fear. All kinds of concerns began to appear. Josh worried about everything, big things and small. Although he tried to stay calm, he had no control at all. His tummy felt like it had butterflies inside. His heart wouldn't stop racing, and he wanted to cry. Oh no. Josh carried this worry like a big bulky sack, weighing heavily upon his little back. At the doctor's office, when it was time for his shot, he was trembling with fear, and his head felt quite hot. After his needle, Mom took Josh to play at the park. When they got close to home, his neighbor's dog started to bark. Scared of the loud noise, Josh ran straight to his front door. He hid in his room till he couldn't hear the noise anymore. That night, Josh worried when it was time to go to bed. Worry made his tummy feel bad, and worry hurt his head. When Mom closed his door, it was dark, and Josh felt alone. His worries grew bigger as his mind started to roam. He worried that there were monsters hiding in his room. His chest started to feel tight and his head filled with doom. He worried that next time Mom took him to the park to play, she might forget he was with her at the end of the day. The next morning, Josh realized how to stop feeling bad. He should tell all of his worries to his mom and his dad. He told them how scary everything had started to feel and how even the small things felt like a really big deal. We all feel worry at times. It's normal, Mom said. We're proud of you for sharing what's going on in your head. When you tell us your fears, they get smaller and feel less real. We'll always be here to soothe the worry you feel. Getting shots is important. Don't worry about them again. Dr. Joe is so gentle, you shouldn't feel any pain. And Oscar the dog doesn't bark because he dislikes you. He's saying hello in that special way that doggies do.
Doggy saying hello.
Yeah, that's right. Now, let's see if we can find those monsters, Dad said. They searched all over Josh's room, even under the bed. Josh felt relieved after all their searching was done. There were no monsters in his room, not even one. To celebrate, Mom and Dad took Josh to the park. As they passed Oscar, he greeted Josh with a friendly bark. The family played games and laughed and had lots of fun, and they all went home together when their playing was done. The end. Did you like that story?
Yeah.
All right, do you want to come up so we can share a couple of our own ideas for working through worries?
Yeah.
All right, come on over. So, for Mindfulness Monday, we think it's important that we share some techniques or skills that we use to help us. There's the kitty cat. So one thing I like to do when I'm really worried, I like to remind myself of times when I was worried about something similar and the outcome. Go pet the kitty. So sometimes when I'm really worried, it feels just like it did for Josh. I notice it in my chest feeling really tight. Sometimes my tummy doesn't feel good. And that's okay, because all of these emotions are normal and they're okay and they're good. It's good to acknowledge these emotions. But when I'm scared sometimes, I just remind myself, hey, I've done hard, scary things before and the outcome was fine. So that's a technique that you can also use to help you if you start to worry. Another one that Josh used in our story that I thought was a great one was sharing those feelings with somebody else. Sometimes I think we can get so wrapped up in our own worries and our fears in our heads that we forget that they're actually much bigger in our head than we realize they are in real life. So if you share them with somebody else, it's a great way for someone to remind you, hey, let's slow down. Let's look at this a little bit differently. So the dog barking, for example, in the story, it might have been really scary to Josh, but that dog was just barking to say hi or acknowledge that there was a person nearby. So nothing to be afraid of. Harper, do you want to come say bye to everybody today? All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.